Hello, anyway. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. God bless you. So, this is the concluding part of this confession of Bisola Johnson. I've done part one, part two. This is part three. So, for you to understand this one, make sure that you've watched part one and part two. They are here in this channel. God bless you. I don't have anything to say. Bisola is not new to most of you here. Some of you may have watched this and you've listened to it. In as much as I'm not going to speak for Bisola, but then sometimes I see people's comments and I want to agree and admit that it is usually quite strange when people, you know, fail to use their thinking faculty well. I wouldn't know what it will benefit me to come here and begin to say all kinds of dirty things, alleging that I did them because something I know will not fetch me money, even if it will fetch me money. Do you people remember some of the persons that went to fake miracles for a certain prophet in South Africa? They went to fake the miracles, some faked HIV, but they never knew that it was going to be aired. So when they began to see it, the video, and people started calling them, they were like, take your money, please, and pull down the video. But the damage already has been done. So what I'm trying to say is that there is no amount of money that can wash off this stain if these things, were maybe to be forged. So I don't know what will make me to want to come out and say I slept with Mami Water, I slept with a snake. I slept with a 85-year-old woman, and that did not happen. What will make me, to do it? Well, anyway, as I'm speaking in parables. So God bless you. Thank you very much. Like and share the video. Put down your comments in the comment section and subscribe to our channel if you have not done so. Subscribe. Thank you. See you in the next video shortly. Till then, from me to you, shalom. And I want to say shout out to Sister Bisola Johnson. Thank you very much and God bless you. This video has come a long way and it is there on the internet. I just saw it and so I took interest and here we are. You are welcome to the End Time Truth Television, the channel for the lovers of truth, for the truth of the end time. So if you are a lover of truth, give us a subscription and God bless you. Shalom.
One day, the man now said, I will give you 3 days prayer, 3 days fasting. So, but your fasting will not start in the morning. It will start maybe around 2 in the afternoon. I said, okay. Do you know that the day I started prayer, I started fasting, that was when TB Joshua asked his favorite girls, including me at that time, to come and eat in his kitchen. I just laugh. So after they finished cooking, I said, give me my food. Let me take it to the room. So I'll eat it there. I take it there and I flush it. On the 3rd day, that was praying that, hey, it's almost done, around 4 p.m. That was when they said, oh, Baba is calling you. We got to his office. Food was on his table. So everybody started eating. So, I was behind the girls. What am I going to do? This my fasting will spoil. So then at the time, I said, what happened to her? I don't know, what's wrong with this girl? He now say, oh yeah, take her to the room. That was how I escaped it. Immediately after the fast, I called the man. I said, I'm done. He said, I saw an angel descended with a mighty chain. And all those monsters that are guarding the synagogue were put in chain. Go. Even if anybody follow you now, the coast is clear. Now to go and face him, I said, I want to go home, is a problem. So I knew I was, free somehow, but how to now go and say, so what I did was that one day I just, I just left synagogue. In the evening I came back. Do you know what this guy said? He told the security, leave her alone. I thought, send me away, Abi. I'm not, obeying laws now. Send me away. Say, leave her alone. I started thinking, why is this guy leaving me alone? Because I was still working for him spiritually. You understand? I was still useful to him. So then one day, I went to his office with other people. It was a Monday morning. People were, going to collect pass to go out and to pass for assignment. So I stood there. So when I got there, it's my turn. I said I would like to go to Cotonou. It's like, are you nuts? Cotonou again? So he asked everybody to leave his office. So when everybody left, he drew the curtain. It was between me and him. He now did like this. I've always known that hug is that smile is not real. He wants to reset my mind so that when I now say, okay, no problem, he know how to deal with me, in his own way.
So you mean you had not left even after that 3 days fasting?
No, I was still there at that time. So then he now looked at me because he did like this. He thought maybe I would just, jump into his, yeah. So I stepped back. He now said, go and call me your mom. He wrote money, 10,000 naira to go to Ibadan. He said, is that enough? I said, it's enough. I don't even need this money. So I went. I didn't return that day. I came the following day. So when I came back, he said, why didn't I return? I said, my mom was not around, so I had to wait for her. So he said, okay, I should go and give my mom food. So I was trying to come down to go to canteen, the visitors' canteen, to get her the food. Then they said he was calling me again. So what happened? When I got to his office.
What's your mom?
Yeah, I've already brought my mom from Ibadan. She was downstairs. He asked me to go and give her food. So when I was trying to prepare the food, he said they should call me. And when I got to his office, he said I should go and bring my mom. It's like, I've stopped.
No longer coordinated.
Yeah. So what I saw was that I saw KK. KK was the head of the camera crew. We worked together for many years. So, and I saw Diola, because the studio was getting bigger, department was being shared. So she was leading the department of recording and archive. If you see these two people, know that there's something they want to do. So when I saw them, I asked somebody, do we have visitors at home? They said no. So what they usually do is that they will go upstairs in his kitchen. They will set up, video recording. There is always a camera in his office. So, and they will be recording it upstairs. You will know. Even, visitors' room have cameras. So there is a where they normally record. So then I just thought, I don't want to bring my mom here because he has ulterior motive. What he wanted to do is to do to my mom, and my mom will start confessing that I'm a witch. He wants to throw my mom into spirit. So that we now say, Mama, so you are the one that wants to take me away from here. Because he has done it, to a lot of people. So then I told my mom, I said, my mom, stay here, don't leave if anybody call you. Remember I brought you from Ibadan? He said, yes. So my mom stayed there. I went to the room. I went to pack my stuff. So he sent some people to me to call me that he was waiting. I said I was not coming. If that is the way you want it, that's the way it should be. So I started packing my stuff. Himself came into our room and said, I asked you to come. I said, I'm busy packing my stuff. He wanted to hit me. So as he did like this, fortunately, his hand hit a pole, a pillar, because in that room there are a lot of pillars, So his hand hit the pillar, and the hand started bleeding. So he just left. So me, I started crying because it's like I was, in a confused mind. But all I know is that I wanted to leave. But because of, all this, don't know how to go about it. So then he went to his bedroom. I was in the room. I slept off. So the following morning, I think, I went to meet my mom to take them to general canteen. Then he sent Chikodi to come and call us, that he was ready to see us. So we met with him at the gallery. So he said, he was telling my mom that, see, I took her to different countries. I care about her. I love her so much. Me, I've told my mom, say, please stay out of this. If you have opportunity to see him, just tell him that, please help me pray for her. She has been here all these days. Even if she becomes somebody in life, it's to your own glory, Abi. So my mom repeated that I don't know, me too, have been begging her to stay. But she said she wants to leave. She wants to go and start family. She wants to go and, age is not on women's side. So please pray for her. He didn't even answer. He was just talking rubbish. My mom said, please help me pray for her now. If a girl or somebody go and learn a job, at the day of freedom, the oga will pray. He didn't even answer. So he now said, you will not just go like nobody. I will treat you right. Help me bring my boss, his personal boss, and his personal driver. Said they should take us. He wants to deceive others, like there's no fight. You understand? Because if other disciples see that people are leaving, they start making up their mind. So he said they should go and bring his coaster boss and his driver to take us to the car park. So, and the man has already told me, please don't let your undies and, be left behind. So I try as much as I could to pack what, I've stayed there a lot of years. So some things, maybe they are on the hanger outside, I don't know, but I did try it. So when they took us to the park, I thanked the driver, he left, and I told my mom, you go, I stay here. I stay in Lagos. So I've already gotten, accommodation. So I went there, and I now called the pastor that I'm already out. What is the because I don't know my right from wrong in things of God. So I called him. I said, sir, what's the next? The man said he went to Ikorodu, that tomorrow morning I should call him. So the following day I called him. It was his wife that picked it. That Baba has fever from Ikorodu, that I shouldn't worry, that I should call in the evening. And the evening, because I was so anxious, I've not met him. So I called in the evening. They said the Baba is already at the hospital in UCH, admitted. So after like 4 days, they said they have released him. So I sent little money that please buy him Bonvita and all that, let him be well. So yeah, they say he's recuperating, but on the 7th or thereabout days, the wife called me that he has gone to be with the Lord. I called my mom. I say, it looks, this man has taken a bullet for me. Why should he die at this time? I was just thinking, I thought maybe God do not want me to build another, semi-demigod. So God wanted me to walk it on my own, because I believe Satan couldn't have killed that man. Anyway, it's only when we get to heaven that we know what is what. So, and I started living my life. Then after like, 2 months, that's, enjoying the freedom and liberty that I could, start thinking, what should I do? I've left the circulation a long time. So what should I do? What's going on, Then I started saying if I sleep 8 o'clock, by the time I wake up in the morning, I will wake up tired. Because in the dream, I will be running. They will be saying, catch her, catch her. I will be jumping fence. Sometimes they will catch me, they will put me inside cage, inside the synagogue. I will see known faces, known disciples. I will be hearing TB Joshua, catch her. I was not living well. Then one day, my friend somebody that just be my friend, just came to my house. And as I opened the door, after the friend had gone, it was a tortoise I saw on my door. I was living off Allen. It's Allen Bush. So the people at home.
Tortoise in the dream or in real life?
In real life. Okay. So then I started screaming. My neighbors came out. So the tortoise started running. So people were saying that, maybe you know how we Africans think. Hey, maybe the landlady is a witch. But me, I knew where I was coming from. So they caught the tortoise and they burnt it down. But the situation of seeing myself in the dream, TB Joshua giving me injection, having sex with me in the dream, it made me to be disoriented. I became confused. I wake up in the morning, I can sit down like this from morning till night. I don't know where I was. You understand? So then, sometime I would dream, I would see myself in a cemetery. And TB Joshua would be calling me, come and lie here, come and lie here. Sometimes I would be, they will bury me half. Only my head remained to be covered with, sands. All this made me to start going from one church to another. Help me pray, help me pray. But they are not also better. I went to different mountains, pray, fast, was not better. So then one day, if you see my video 2008 that I first did, you will feel sorry for me. My neck was so long, I was. So one day, Agomo contacted me and said, somebody want to see me. I said, who want to see me? I said, I can't leave my house. I'm so sick. I was bedwetting. I was, everything was just. Then we were hearing stories that, Iya Junior just died. People that lived Synagogue. TB Joshua has already told all disciples in the meeting that if you live here, you are dead. If you live here, it was that is the one covering the disciples that made them to be alive. So all this fear were in people's mind. Maybe people died because of the indoctrination. It could not be maybe any juju or something, or anything. Yeah, spiritual attack. So, or any enchantment. You understand? But of course, there is enchantment, because in the what do you call it? In the groove of TB Joshua, there, you see people's pictures are being buried under sand. Some they will nail it to the tree. Some visitors, they don't know all this because there are different parts where people don't get to. So there was one girl, Damilola. She said she wants to get married. The next thing, when the people that went for prayer section went, they saw that Damilola's picture was tied. People were wondering, what's going on? But because they were part of the system, people couldn't say anything. It would just give them prayer points. They would just be saying it, enchanting it. Anyway, so when all these things were happening, and I told this brother Gomo, himself had left synagogue earlier because he wanted to get married. There's trouble. So he said by force he wants to get married. So because he was in Ghana, so when the trouble become too much, because Agomo had made up his mind, TB Joshua said, okay, bring that woman, let me see. The woman came to synagogue and stayed in the synagogue for 2 weeks. In the morning, TB Joshua will take this woman, they will go to that groove. After 2 weeks, the woman, TB Joshua said, okay, go back and do your wedding thing. They went for wedding. The woman became dead. So that was what took Agomo away. So Agomo came and said, now wow. I said, even if I have a way, because I know what I'm experiencing, if I have a way to leave voice behind, I don't mind. That was how they now say, okay, let's do a video. How they put it on YouTube, I don't even know. I just thought, let me just leave a voice behind. This is where I'm coming from. Oh, this is what I saw. Oh, this is what TB Joshua was doing to us. Oh, before God, before man. I have no reason to lie on this man. We even pray that may he change, may he repent. You understand? Because the evil is too much. That day, I just sat down on a couch, just, thinking of what has been happening. Then, because you cannot cheat nature, so I just dozed off. So immediately I slept off. I, just as usual, I found myself back in the synagogue. And in that dream, what I saw Mama Michael. She was the one, trying to put me down, taunting me that, look at the way I was, I look haggard, that TB Joshua, takes care of them. So I told her that I don't need your taking care. I don't need your money. So then while we were saying that, I saw TB Joshua just came from somewhere. So he just came towards me. And he just attacked me by holding my neck, trying to suffocate me. So he held it so tight, just holding it. So I was just saying, Jesus, because I was so weak. I don't know how to pray. I was just saying, Jesus. Suddenly, I saw a cross. He was standing in front of me, holding my neck. So behind him, another scenario was happening. I saw a cross and there was a man on the cross. So, and because I saw that cross and the man, I just, look onto the cross. I was just saying, Jesus, help me. Jesus, help me. I noticed that under the cross, I saw 3 elderly men. They were so aged, because their hair was white and their beards long and flowing, pure white. I saw them. They were putting something in a bowl, and I think it's incense. So as they put that thing in the bowl, there will be smoke out of that bowl. And listen, I'm not saying that anybody should be burning incense, because some people, they will just take word halfway. The book of Revelation talks about incense, that it is prayer of the righteous, prayers of the saints. So, as it goes up, it goes to God. So as the smoke went up, the smoke engulfed the one that was on the cross. So after the smoke cleared off, just the way they wrote it in the Bible, that they punctured his side, that side just opened, and blood came down in a fit of fury, as if the blood was angry, because it was just coming down. I was seeing it. The blood was coming down, and the one that was that held my neck didn't know what was behind him, and because he was engrossed in what the evil he was trying to do, the blood came down, and as the blood landed, his head, TB Joshua's head, was separated from his body, and the head flung out of the window, and his body, just his headless body, slumped on the floor. The moment he hit the ground, the whole synagogue shook as if there was earthquake. Everywhere shook. So I saw a lot of, disciples. They were in confusion, running helter-skelter. So I just crossed over the the body on the floor. Then in the midst of all these people confusion, I saw TB Joshua's wife. She was tying a wrapper on her chest and was shouting, "Baba, where's Baba, where's Baba?" So me, I just walk out of the synagogue. Ever since, I don't see TB Joshua again in my dream. I sleep like a baby. I'm happy. I started getting my senses back. Nobody torments me in my dream. And after all this, I start developing passion that if I don't say this experience to people, I will go to hellfire. Because God spent his resources to keep me alive. Many people died. Many people lost their mind. Some people, they can't even get their bearing today. But today, look at me. I'm alive. I'm well. If you watch the video I did in 2008 and compare to today, you see that life has moved on. Life is good.
But did TB Joshua try to reach out to you after that?
Yes, he tried. There's one man called Prince Awofisayo. I think during the course of the interview, I've already mentioned how I know Prince Awofisayo. So, the time I told Prince Awofisayo that I was moving out, he gave me 500,000 for accommodation, which, infuriates TB Joshua. So Prince Awofisayo asked me not to come to his office again. And because he doesn't want to be in his bad book. Prince Awofisayo is a man on wheelchair. TB Joshua could not heal him. Ayefele, the singer, also visited the synagogue. TB Joshua, couldn't heal him. It's only the miracle that they can use to bamboozle people that they allow them to come on the healing line. Anyway, so Prince Awofisayo one day, around 2011 or so, the person who said I should stay away, I just received call from him. And he was telling me that the way I left synagogue and, I think he just woke up at that time. The way I left synagogue after, some years, the way I left synagogue and the video I made, that I shouldn't have done it. I said, sir, you don't understand. If I'm your daughter, if I'm your sister, I think you will not say this to me. He said, no, I must write apology letter to TB Joshua. Because, he has been there, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. Because he's a man I respected. I said, okay, I will do. I don't want to argue. So after a week, I told him I've written the letter. Then one day he just called me and said, Bisola, they said they have not seen the letter in the synagogue. I said, are they supposed to see the letter? Are they supposed to tell you that they don't see the letter? Meaning that you people are planning together. I say, it's not like that. You remember I promised you 5 million. So this time I'll make it 10. Just do it, and I can also take you there personally. He will not send you away. He will not harass you, if you are with me. I say, sir, devil's money should perish with devil. Even at that time, I need money as I need my breath. But I told him I can't negotiate with Satan. And, that's just it. So I stayed on my word, because going back to synagogue is like going back to Sodom and Gomorrah, going back to house of bondage.
But aside from the miracles you said you normally arrange, were there at least some real miracles?
You cannot receive miracle from Satan. How can you eat on the table of Satan and eat on the table of God? In the synagogue, in the synagogue, see, this TB Joshua we're talking about is a Muslim. His name is Fatai. I remember I visited his village 3 times. The first time was when I led journalists to his mother's burial. And the second time was when we went to arrange things for him. He said he wants to do documentary about him. So we put fake person down as his head mistress. We put fake school register down. We wrote fictitious name on the register. We wrote his name, join it. Just for documentary.
Make believe.
Make believe thing. So the third time was when he said part of the documentary that we should take bags of rice to Arigidi and be sharing it to elderly people. He said we should put camera on their face and we should make them to, we should interview them and make sure that they say before camera that TB Joshua has been feeding them for many years. Some of them possibly because of poverty, they took the food, but I was taken aback when some of them were kicking us out of their compound. Say, are you coming? Is it because of Fatai? Yeah, they kicked us away. So I got to know that his name is Fatai. So Fatai has not given his life to Jesus Christ. He used to follow Professor Pella. He used to follow Professor Pella, and he was a Celestial prophet before Celestial Church kicked him out, because the way he was doing the prophetic work is like ritual and occultism. That people that he wounded went to Ketu to report him. So forget about all this bling bling that you are seeing on TV. Forget about what you are watching on TV. We were the one behind the camera. They show you movie and you are arguing with the director. I was Emmanuel TV director, for God's sake. So after, I get well, I believe that I need to tell the world what I witnessed. Because if I don't, hellfire will be my abode. So it's as bad as that. It's not about pulling anybody down. It's not, what I'm doing is even more than TB Joshua. It's about the souls of the children of God. See, the Bible says in Matthew 7:13, I've started preaching now. The Bible says in Matthew 7:13 that, see, the way to the kingdom of God is narrow. Only few find it. Anytime I read that passage, I cry. There are a lot of, multitude in the church, but only few find it. Do you want to be among the few or among the multitude that are going into damnation? And the way to the kingdom of darkness is everywhere on the internet.
Sorry, do you know, while you were still there, about the arrangement of miracles for Kanu, Amokachi, and some other stars?
See, that is why I wrote this book, The TB Joshua I Know. For 14 years, I stay with him. It's different from the TB Joshua you know. You don't know him. If you're a member of Synagogue, after service, you go home. But we lived with him. We touched him. We ate with him. He had sex with all of us. I'm supposed to be ashamed because as a woman. But I'm telling you my experience so that, my past will not become your future. That's why I wrote this. There are a lot of, information in this book. It's not about money, but for, because I can't be telling this story in bits and in pieces. I wrote everything. See, Kano Nwanko, when Kano Nwanko came to the synagogue, I was the one that, that coordinated him. It was his junior brother that first came, and on Tuesday day he came, and he was brought into the, they asked me to go and bring him into the studio, because at that time synagogue was not this big. So studio is the only place in the synagogue that has AC. Why? Because of the cassette, video cassette, and because of the editing machines. All these machines, all this camera, they need cooling system. So anytime visitors come, it's in the studio. They will stay. They will be entertained before being taken to TB Joshua's office. I'm being in leadership in studio. So I'm the one that TB Joshua will call, and I went over to bring Kano into the studio. And TB Joshua came, he did some razzmatazz on him and told Kano that he's been healed. But thank God for Kano, that Kano went for second opinion. If he had not gone for another checkup, that was how he would have just died. But he went for second opinion. They said the hole is still in his heart. And, he called Synagogue that he's on his way for operation. And TB Joshua continued kicking that don't go. He told TB Joshua that his manager said if he refused to go, nobody, no team, no club will take him. And he will wash his hand off him. So that was why, till he was in the hospital, TB Joshua was still calling and say, I've healed you. When they open you, they will see that no hole. And when they open Kano, thank God the guy went. So the guy came back, and TB Joshua started calling some cheap media houses and showing them video of how he healed. Say it was him. Why are you fighting? Even if Kano got spiritual healing, is it you that healed? Leave it for God. Who, if truly, you understand? But because everything is all about him, run away from a church or a place of gathering where the message center on one man. And you see that there are a lot of hero worshiper up and down. When you talk about any pastor that is wrong, people want to die. But when you talk about Jesus, you see that they keep quiet.